All right, it's 4:01, a minute later than every other meeting I've called to order. And I'll call this meeting to order today. Trustee Williams, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah, please rise and join us in the pledge. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is Christian on? Is Christian on? Do we know? Okay. Prior to roll call, I'd like to make clear for the record of this meeting, and it should be reflected in the minutes, that the San Bernardino Community College District Board of Trustees business meeting is conducted pursuant to California Government Code Section 54953. Student trustee Espinosa is participating via Zoom conference, and let it be reflected in the minutes that student trustee Espinosa has an advisory vote only, which will be cast immediately before the regular members of the governing board cast their official votes. I would now like to advise the board members that any votes taken during the teleconference portion of this meeting will be taken by roll call. Next up is public comment. Do we have any public comment on today's agenda? We do? All right. So pursuant to Board Policy 2350, any person may speak to the Board of Trustees either on an agenda item or on other matters of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board and before any board action is taken. Comments must be limited to 3 minutes per speaker and 20 minutes on the same or a substantially similar topic, unless a majority of the board votes to extend the time limit. As a matter of policy, members of the board may not discuss or respond to matters raised during public comment unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion or action in open session. If you have questions about access or if you require accommodation to participate in a public meeting, please contact the Chancellor's office as far in advance of the board meeting as possible. We have one public comment, and so I'll invite Shalita Tillman up.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for allowing me to be here. My name is Shalita Tillman, and I am a long-term employee here of the district. And my comment is I would like to say thank you, and I'm going to share why I would like to say thank you. I've been out on medical for a little over a year. This is my 6th week back. I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer last April, which is one of the most aggressive breast cancers. And I ran into a lot of complications during my treatment, during which time I spent a lot of time in the hospital. I thought I was coming back in July of this year, and then I found out that I had breast cancer in my opposite breast. And so then I had to get a double mastectomy September 24th of this year. And I'm sure you're probably saying, what? And she's here already? Yes, that's how motivated I was to return back to work. I was tired of being surrounded by medical staff. I was ready to be surrounded by other people than medical teams. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that donated their hard-earned time to extend to me so that way I could heal. That was priceless for me and my family, to give me that time to heal, because it made a big difference for me and for me to be here today to say thank you. So I'm very thankful, I'm very grateful, and I'm also very thoughtful. So again, thank you all so very much for that.
We'll now move on to Section 4, Recognition and Celebrations. A recognition of San Bernardino Valley College Athletic Training Team and Loma Linda University Health Medical Team for life-saving response. Chancellor.
Thank you. Well, tonight we want to take a moment to recognize some people whose quick thinking and teamwork saved the life of one of our San Bernardino Valley College student athletes, Mr. Marcus Geronio. Excuse me if I mispronounce your last name, Marcus. On August 27, 2025, during what started as a routine training session, Marcus suffered a sudden cardiac event and lost consciousness. In that moment, when every second truly, truly mattered, our athletic training team stepped in with calm skill and professionalism. They assessed this situation very, very fast and began life-saving care and worked closely with our first responders, our campus police, and medical partners. Because of that response, Marcus is here with us today. We're also deeply grateful to the medical team at Loma Linda University Health, led by President and CEO Dr. Richard Hart, who is joining us here today, including Dr. Diane Tran, who advanced heart failure and transplant cardiologist, and Penny Morboot, Assistant Vice President for Cardiac Services and the International Heart Institute. Their expertise and continued care played just a critical role in stabilizing Marcus and supporting his recovery.
Great. Thank you, Chancellor. So tonight, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the San Bernardino Community College District, we want to simply say thank you to the people who stepped forward. We're grateful to San Bernardino Valley College Athletics Training Team, including Keith Candelaria, Edgar Ortiz, and Cristina Acevedo. And it takes leadership at all levels. We also want to recognize head football coach James Griffin and our coaching staff, David Grossman, Interim Dean of Kinesiology, Health, and Athletics, and David Rubio, Director of Athletics. So at this time, I'd like to invite the San Bernardino Valley College Athletic Training Team and our Loma Linda University Health partners to come forward to receive some special certificates of appreciation. And Marcus, if you're comfortable, we'd love for you to join us up in the photos too. Yeah.
Thank you for this honor. It's always a privilege to come back to Valley College. I used to cover the clinic here at Valley College years ago, so it's a special place for me. And for recognizing, we treat many patients, and we do that in gratitude. Not everyone says thank you, so thank you, Valley College, for doing that. I read a statement a bit ago. Blessed are those who can give without remembering and receive without forgetting. And I think that's very true of what's happened today. So thank you for remembering and giving us the privilege to be here. I'd like to quickly have some of the staff could come. Some of them are still saving lives, but maybe if you can come up and just briefly introduce yourself and the role you played in Marcel's work.
Hi, I'm Dr. Diane Tran. I'm one of the heart failure transplant cardiologists here at Loma Linda. I actually took care of Marcus when he first came into the hospital. He might not remember me quite a bit because I usually wear scrubs and a mask. But yes, it was a pleasure taking care of him and great support from his family.
Okay, and I'm Penny Amonwood. I'm the Assistant Vice President for the Cardiac Services. I'm taking care of the team that's taking care of him. So I don't think he's going to remember me, but that's well.
I'm looking at Marcus and he's saying, "Who are these people?" But his mom knows. Yes.
My name is Cassandra Marchman. I'm the director for the cath lab. So I know that he went in there right after he came from the EMS. He went right to the cath lab. So that's the team that we represent. And then Ronald as well.
So, I'm Ronaldo, one of the nurses from the cath lab that was helping with his care and with all that happened.
Thank you. So thank you. Thank you for giving us the privilege to come over and receive this recognition. We look forward to partnering with Valley College.
Thank you, Dr. Hart. President Contreras, would you like to?
Or Dr. Contreras, before you, and if you don't mind, the chair, I know that Marcus's mother is here, and if you would like to share a couple words.
I was unaware of the 2-minute warning, so I'm sorry if I go over. But first and foremost, I want to thank you for bringing everybody together in this room. And I'm going to apologize if I cry. I promised Marcus I wouldn't, but I cry a lot these days. Okay, so, I learned very quickly how special this community is. We're not from San Bernardino. We're from the Port of Los Angeles. And San Bernardino is a foreign place for us. So very quickly, we learned the love and the amazing excellence that is just in this amazing community college. But I really do just stand before you with immense gratitude that fills my heart with every single day since August 27th. For the athletic trainers, if you don't mind standing up just so I can speak to you directly, that did the CPR. As a nurse myself, I too have had to do that, but never on an 18-year-old boy. And I know that the CPR training prepares us with the mechanical skills and the knowledge to emergently respond, but it's the after part that we are never prepared for. And I thought of you that day. I thought of you about the sleepless night you'd have and how hard it is to move on from that when you have the sliver of someone's life literally under your hands. So you performed high quality CPR, and I know too well what could have happened if you were not prepared for this moment. Marcus wouldn't be here. He could have brain injury from lack of oxygen. You gave him the best chance to fully recover from this. You saved my baby, his dad's pride and joy, and his brother and sister's piece of their family puzzle. We could not fathom when we saw Marcus in the hospital to think that he would not be here today. You did not know who or when, but it was my boy that you were ready for, and I know that God aligned him to be with you, near to you in that moment. I will forever consider you his 3 earthside angels. It's the small things now that I appreciate, his loud footsteps in the morning, the "I love you, Mom" all the time, and the yelling at the Patriots games. So I just want you to know for the rest of my days, I'll think of you every single day, and thank you for what you did. And so to the coaches, Coach Griff, Coach Giles, Coach Alex, the entire staff, I'm sure you know that Marcus originally planned to fully play at Santa Monica. And then out of nowhere one day, he says, "I'm going to go check out San Bernardino." Again, I don't know much about San Bernardino. It's far from home. How are you going to get there? What are you going to do? He went to one practice. Marcus is very intuitive, very observant. And he came home ignited, fired up. He knew that this is where he belonged. And it's because of you, what he saw with your coaching. So thank you for your immediate support at the hospital, the outreach, the words of praise for Marcus, and your belief in him as an athlete, a young man, and throughout this whole journey. It's evident that you showed the composure after witnessing such a traumatic event and still leading your team through a successful first season. It's remarkable, really. Coaches have the power to shape lives beyond the game, and I know your players and Marcus will forever remember you as an example of humanity and love. So to Loma Linda. So the coaches were there waiting for me. I've never been to Loma Linda Hospital. I work for a healthcare system, Providence actually, so I wasn't aware of Loma Linda. But you can only imagine my ride 2 hours up here to an unfamiliar hospital. And for some reason, when I stepped through those doors and Coach Griff noticed this about me, I was calm. I had an inner peace that wasn't tangible, but it was there. It was a faith quietly that was sitting in the background of my fear. But through the caregiver experience that I witnessed, the faith in Loma Linda was completely justified. The first resident physician met me at the chapel doors. She was steady and urgent, giving me faith that we were in the right place. The ICU team pushed the boundaries on the visitor limit, let us all be in the room with Marcus's 2 best friends from kindergarten, relentlessly praying over him. You knew the sensitivity of the situation. And it's Nurse Diana in the ICU. I don't know if she came today. She was his first nurse on the night shift. She was unflappable, diligent, laser focused to get Marcus to wake up. She titrated that sedation so carefully, kept making him try to respond cognitively, and it was in the early mornings, quite literally, right around her shift change, that boy woke up fiercely trying to pull out his breathing tube. We all had to hold him down. He had supernatural strength, but he was calm, cooperative by 7 a.m. when she was about to go home, and I looked at her and I told her, you did this. So Diana, you are a phenomenal nurse, and our profession needs more just like you. And then there was a nurse assistant that I don't know her name, but she kept coming in the room, and I could tell that she felt my pain. And when Marcus woke up, she locked eyes with me, and she shared silently that unspoken, equal sense of deep relief. Lastly, Nurse Chloe, I don't know if she's here. I think Marcus remembers her. She was the discharging nurse. Absolutely phenomenal nursing care. I've never seen better discharge education in my nursing career, so patient and so thorough. So Loma Linda nursing team, what I saw is the gold standard of nursing care. Thank you. And I also want to recognize Dr. Tran, the lead cardiologist. Thank you and all of the student fellows, residents for excellent clinical management of Marcus, doing exactly what was safest and best for him while being very patient with me. I recognize I had many questions and doubts at times, but you protected him fully. And you've also guided us to the Cedars-Sinai cardiac team, which I am hopeful we are in the best possible place for Marcus. And then lastly, please, Marcus is going to be mad, but I want to recognize you. If anyone is amazed by Marcus's ability to pull through this, it might be because you know the statistical chance of surviving sudden cardiac arrest can be less than 1%. But what I will tell you next is probably something you will not believe. Marcus is a surviving twin of a pregnancy. I wasn't aware I had twins. I miscarried his twin. And 8 weeks to the day after Marcus was born, he also went to heaven and decided I'm not going there, and came back and had a 31-day stay in the pediatric ICU in a Boston hospital. Each day, the doctors prepared us to say goodbye to his tiny little life, but he didn't. He refused. And then this. You literally defy the odds, Marcus. You are a miracle. You're fierce. You define grit, both in life and sports. I always knew your story would be told, and here we are. Since we've been home recovering, this has truly been a sacred time for me and Marcus. It feels like we are him and I against the world. I am your mom, but you actually coached me. It's so funny. You've changed and inspired so many lives in your short 18 years. My love and pride for you is without limits. Thank you all again, and thank you, God, for the mercy that you had on having my son here. Thank you.
Elizabeth, tough to follow, but your love filled this room, and the vice presidents in the college have brought flowers for you. We also have a certificate for Marcus from our foundation to fund the cost of attendance and books for 2 years at Valley College. Thank you for your perseverance, and thank you to our foundation. Just a few more thank yous. I think a lot has been said already, but I really want to acknowledge and thank a few more people, including the officer that responded with the AED, and that is Mark Sear, and our chief of police, Blake Bonnet, and all the officers who worked together that day. I also want to acknowledge and thank VPI Letitia Hector, who was at the hospital waiting for me to arrive. Thank you for doing that as well. All the coaches and the entire Valley College community pulling together. And a special thanks to Loma Linda. Thank you for saving one of our lives.
We're glad you're still with us. We'll move on now to applause cards. Can we have the applause cards, please, up?
For those of you who are joining us for the first time at one of our board meetings, we are applauding for applause cards that are given to members of our community by others who recognize something special that they have done over the course of the month. So.
All right, we'll now move into the trustees and chancellor reports. We'll start with the board finance committee. Dr. Houston.
Thank you, Chair Gonzalez. This update includes a brief background summary for each of the agenda items that we covered in our board finance committee earlier today. So first, we had the prioritized board directives for the 2026-2027 budget. Under our administrative practice 6200, the Board of Trustees holds authority to establish budget directives that guide allocation of district resources and ensure alignment with San Bernardino Community College district priorities and strategic goals. The committee reviewed the proposed directives that will guide the development of the district's 26-27 budget and we recommended forwarding them to the full board for consideration of approval. The key points in these board directives are that the budget must align unrestricted general fund and student success funding with SBCCD goals and objectives. Funds should be set aside for innovative initiatives that directly advance district priorities. The directives are scheduled for first level board approval in January 2026, with final board approval in February of 2026. Next, we looked at the guiding principles for the state grant to KVCR. The background on that is that the state legislature awarded the community college district a $15 million grant for KVCR. The board adopted guiding principles to ensure responsible stewardship of these public funds, which are reviewed annually. The committee reviewed the guiding principles for the $15 million state grant to KVCR and recommends forwarding them to the full board for consideration of approval with no proposed changes. The highlights include the grant fund support implementation of the board-approved KVCR Inspiring Possibilities Plan. The guiding principles are reviewed and approved annually. Investment proceeds must be utilized before drawing on principal, and annual allocations are predefined and extend through our fiscal year 2030-2031, with any additional allocations requiring board approval. Next, we looked at our guiding principles for our FCC auction proceeds. So the background on this is that the Community College District received FCC auction proceeds in 2027, and the board established guiding principles to ensure long-term, transparent, and strategic use of these funds in support of student success. The Board Finance Committee reviewed the guiding principles for the FCC auction proceeds and recommends forwarding them to the full board for consideration of approval with no proposed changes. The key principles here include that our students are core in the mission and the resources will be focused on student success. Proceeds must support student success and be managed transparently. Principal may not be used for ongoing expenditures without explicit board approval, and revenue generated from investments supports district strategic goals through established collegial consultation and budget development processes. Next, we reviewed, and they're on the agenda today, our legislative and budget priorities. The district's legislative and budget priorities guide advocacy efforts with local, state, and federal policymakers to advance student success, workforce development, and community prosperity. The committee received an update from the Chancellor's Office on the 2026 legislative and budget priorities, which focus on affordability, workforce development, housing equity, and long-term financial stability. This item is included in tonight's board agenda for consideration. Otherwise, we received our regular monthly updates to support transparency, fiscal oversight, and ongoing monitoring of district operations. And our next meeting will be of the Board Finance Committee will be Thursday, February the 12th, 2026 at 2:30. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Houston. The Board Legislative Committee, Trustee Reyes.
Our committee is doing so well that we didn't have to meet physically. The Vice President, Vice Chancellor Rodriguez has really kept all of us well informed in terms of what are some of the best opportunities for us. And so I want to thank him for that. I know he's going to give a report, and he's going to be asking for us to approve the recommendations that he has submitted. I always want to tell you, the board, my colleagues, is that we depend, for myself, I depend a lot on what is recommended from the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellors, because we don't know everything about everything that deals with the legislative processes, agendas. So what we leave it up to them. We come in and we ask a lot of questions in regards to whether it be part of the budget, because if you have a good committee that does a good job in terms of legislative, then that really penetrates all the others. Because if you don't have a good budget, then you can't do a lot of the things that the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellors want to do. So I'm very, very pleased. And it will be a report. One of the things that I do want to say, and I don't want to steal the thunder from our Chancellor, but again, I've been working on behalf of this college is from grants opportunities, and we've raised quite a bit of money over the last 20 years. And I want to compliment, just as much as we applaud the employees or whoever, which I think is great, we don't normally take the time to applaud our top administrators. And I like to start when I'm still the chair of the budget committee, the legislative committee. I want to be able to recognize, and I want to recognize the team. It's always a team, but one has to be the leader. Dr. Ornelas, Vice Chancellor, was very, very instrumental in getting a 3.5 grant that is going to help affordability, career training throughout the Inland Empire, including, of course, Crafton Hills College, because this is a district. So I want to applaud that, because sometimes I think that she's too shy she's asked to give a report and she doesn't hear, but I think we need to recognize any administrator or employee that is doing a great job. I particularly like to thank you, Dr. Ornelas, because without your support, this would have never happened, because I know how grants work. And if you're not persistent, if you don't have the team, then we would, and of course that would put pressure on Dr. Torres, who would be thinking about how is he going to be able to get money from here and over there. So you're able to allow him to sleep, and of course that brings back to the chancellor, and then eventually to the chair of the board, because we're going to hold you accountable if we don't get the grants. So I do want to say that I really want to thank Dr. Ornelas for this particular. And let's continue. Our college district, I want you to know, has been very successful in getting grants. I will continue to fight for that, including grants that are going to be available for HSIs. And I just found out that there's grant opportunities from artificial intelligence. They took money from one budget and put it over here. Let's go after that. So almost Dr. Rodriguez, which is Angel, please keep on top of the grants that are available, because it's a new thing, artificial intelligence. But anyway, without taking the spotlight, Dr. Ornelas, thank you so much for allowing us to work with you and you with us and getting this 3.5. That really helps our students. I want to applaud you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. There is no report of the Board Policy and Procedures Ad Hoc Committee. Board of Governors, Trustee Williams.
No report. However, the BOG will meet on January the 13th.
Joint Powers Authority, Dr. Houston.
No report.
Chancellor.
Brief report. Well, good evening, everyone. I just want to start out with some good news on behalf of our good news from our region, I should say. Our district recently won a $3.5 million grant, which Reyes was alluding to. Absolutely. That's all of our team. Trying to expand affordable career training across the Inland Empire. This funding from the California Workforce Development Board will help us serve more than 900 residents. So we'll provide them with free and low cost hands-on training, credentials and apprenticeships in advanced manufacturing, clean energy, electric vehicle technology, cyberspace security, and IT. And this, as alluded to, took a lot of work, a lot of behind the scenes work. And so I want to also thank our entire economic development corporate training team, led by Vice Chancellor Ornelas, along with Interim Dean Dr. Olivia Rosas, Executive Director Deanna Krabel, and Director of Workforce Development Kurt Osberger. They did an amazing job. They brought together Valley College, Crafton Hills College, Cal State San Bernardino, the Inland Empire Labor Institute, and more than 30 regional employers. It was a big, big lift, and they did it exceptionally well. So we're now headed into the final stretch of our semester. Next week, our students will be taking their final exams. And as we know, it's this time of the year when stress starts to creep up. And that's normal for this time of year. But I want to thank our faculty and staff for continuing to watch out for our students and to have their best interest in minds always. Tutoring, counseling, student health services, and other supports are available on our campuses to help our students finish strong. And also to our employees. This can be a stressful time for you as well. Work deadlines, they don't stop. They don't stop. So life doesn't slow down. In fact, this time of the year, it actually ramps up quite a bit. So I want to remind everyone about our Employee Assistance Program, because it's there where they can help with real life situations. EAP can help with things like stress, anxiety, depression, grief, work-life balance, and for just about everything work-related, including non-work-related items. So if you are ever in need, they are there for you. And as we head into the holidays, I also want to thank everyone across the district who donated food and essential items to our food pantries, again, across the district. Hundreds of items were collected, and they will make a difference for students and families in our community. And over the past year, you served 748 families through the food pantries, 169 parenting students with clothing and diapers. And in other areas, we increased dual enrollment to over 4,000 students. We trained 375 new officers. We enrolled 107 aspiring teachers into our educational program. We grew our foundation assets to over $17.2 million. We installed 130 EV charging stations, resulting in 470,000 energy rebate dollars, and reviewed over 11,000 applications, hiring 725 individuals, 558 of them from underrepresented populations. That is a whole lot to celebrate. That is a lot. And so in closing, I will just say thank you. Thank you for all of your work. To our trustees, our employees, our alumni, our community partners, and to everyone who supports our students, thank you. I'm ending this year truly grateful for all that you have done and looking forward to all that we're going to accomplish together in 2026. So happy holidays and happy new year.
Thank you, Chancellor. Move on now to the organizational meeting of the board, which is our election of board chair, vice chair, and clerk. And so at this time, I will open nominations for the position of board chair.
I'd like to nominate Dr. Nathan Gonzalez for chair.
Are there any other nominations for chair?
I'll second.
No, we just need to know. We just need to
Oh, he's not-
if
okay.
asking if there are nominations.
Okay.
Okay. Any other nominations for chair? All right. We'll move on to nominations for the position of vice chair.
I would like to nominate Mr. Trustee Williams.
All right.
I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry. It took a lot.
Okay.
It took a lot to get that out.
All right. Any other nominations for the position of vice chair? All right, we'll close those. Open nominations for clerk.
I'd like to nominate Dr. Sharina Betters, and I've never seen her lose her voice.
Do we have any other nominations for the position of clerk? All right, then I'll close nominations. So do we have a motion to approve the nominations for 2026 for board chair, Trustee Gonzalez, vice chair is Trustee Williams, and board clerk is Trustee Betters?
I make a motion.
We have a motion by Trustee Reyes with a second by Trustee Longville. Is there any discussion? There's no discussion.
Well, hold on. I do got something to say. I just want to thank the chair. Let me get closer to the mic. I just want to thank the chair because you have been just so incredible in this role. And I came at the end of Dr. Houston, Trustee Houston's leadership, and had the opportunity to serve fully under you in your role. And you have done a very good job of representing us. I just want to say thank you. And I appreciate the way you hold us down and ensure that we are acknowledged in certain spaces when you have the mic. I think that's just important. And I think it's important to you. And you just said phenomenal job, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll go ahead with our roll call vote. Student Trustee Garcia.
Aye.
Student Trustee Espinosa. Are you on with us? Do we know if he's on the Zoom?
He's on. Not sure if there's a connection issue, but he is on.
We can come back to him. How about Trustee Aguilera?
Aye.
Trustee Betters?
Aye.
Trustee Houston?
Aye.
Trustee Longville? Trustee Reyes?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Do we have a vote from Student Trustee Espinosa yet?
Yes, sorry, my internet was lagging.
Great, thank you so much. Chair votes aye, motion carries. Thank you guys for your service and continued service next year. We'll move on now to the election of board representative and alternate to the nominating committee on school district organization. Do we have a nomination for the regular representative?
I'll nominate our chair since he's.
I think Dr. Betters might be an excellent nominee, but I don't feel I'm appropriate as chairperson to
Okay.
make a nomination.
All right, I'll nominate Dr. Betters.
Oh, excellent.
I will second that.
Do we have a nomination for the alternate?
I'll nominate Joseph Williams.
I'll second that.
All right, so we have a nomination for Trustee Betters as the representative with the alternate as Trustee Williams. Let's see, do we have a motion?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Trustee Houston and a second from Trustee Longville. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead with our roll call vote. Student Trustee Garcia?
Aye.
Student Trustee Espinosa?
Aye.
Trustee Aguilera?
Aye.
Trustee Betters?
Aye.
Trustee Houston?
Aye.
Trustee Longville? Aye. Trustee Reyes?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Okay, we'll now move on to our, congratulations. Moving on to our action agenda. The first item is the approval of the minutes of the November 13th, 2025 board business meeting.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Trustee Betters with a second by Trustee Williams. Is there any discussion? All right, we'll move into our roll call vote. Student Trustee Garcia?
Aye.
Student Trustee Espinosa?
Aye.
Trustee Aguilera?
Aye.
Trustee Betters?
Aye.
Trustee Houston?
Aye.
Trustee Longville?
Aye.
Trustee Reyes?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item B, the 2025-2028 Student Equity and Achievement Program Plan for San Bernardino Valley College.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion by Trustee Williams with a second by Trustee Houston to approve the Student Equity and Achievement Program Plan. Any discussion? No discussion. We'll move into our roll call vote. Student Trustee Garcia?
Aye.
Student Trustee Espinosa?
Aye.
Trustee Aguilera?
Aye.
Trustee Betters?
Aye.
Trustee Houston?
Aye.
Trustee Longville? Trustee Reyes?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, the motion carries unanimously. Assignment to board advisory committees. Let's see. So in 2025, the legislative committee was chaired by Frank Reyes, along with Carlos Aguilera and John Longville. Do you guys want to keep your committee the same or add people?
I will nominate the Trustee Reyes, Trustee Aguilera, and Trustee Trustee Reyes as chair.
I'll second.
Okay. And how about for the board finance committee?
Nominate Trustee Houston as chair and Trustee Gonzalez and Trustee Betters as members of the committee.
All right. Do we have a second for that?
I'll second.
So a motion by Trustee Williams, a second by Trustee Aguilera to approve those two committees with that formation. Any further discussion? We'll all go ahead and vote then. Student Trustee Garcia?
Aye.
Student Trustee Espinosa?
Aye.
Trustee Aguilera?
Aye.
Trustee Betters?
Aye.
Trustee Houston?
Aye.
Trustee Longville?
Aye.
Trustee Reyes?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, the motion carries unanimously. Congratulations on your committee assignments. Assignment to the San Bernardino Regional Emergency Training Center Joint Powers Authority.
I would like to nominate Dr. Houston.
All right.
Second.
Was that a motion as well?
Yep, absolutely, yeah.
So we have a motion by Trustee Betters with a second by Trustee Williams to approve Trustee Stephanie Houston. Any discussion? Here, okay, hearing none. Go into our roll call vote. Student Trustee Garcia?
Aye.
Student Trustee Espinosa?
Aye.
Trustee Aguilera?
Aye.
Trustee Betters?
Aye.
Trustee Houston?
Aye.
Trustee Longville?
Aye.
Trustee Reyes?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. All right. The San Bernardino Community College District's 2026 legislative and budget priorities for workforce development and community prosperity. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by trustee Longville with a second by trustee Betters. Do we have any discussion?
I just want to just thank the committee. I think the list that you compiled is pretty impressive and fully expect that all of this stuff is going to happen and funded. And so, but when you read what's in here, y'all are working on some really cool stuff. And so you're doing, great work. And I just wanted to add that. And thank you for adding the textbooks to the priority area.
Any other discussion? All right, we'll move into our vote. Student trustee Garcia?
Aye.
Student trustee Espinosa?
Aye.
Trustee Aguilera?
Aye.
Trustee Betters?
Aye.
Trustee Houston?
Aye.
Trustee Longville? Trustee Reyes?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and the motion carries unanimously. Okay. We will now move on to our consent agenda. The consent agenda is expected to be routine and non-controversial and will be acted upon by the board at one time without discussion. Any member of the board, staff member, or citizen may request that an item be removed from the section for discussion. Are there any items to pull from the consent agenda? We're good with everything? All right, do we have a motion to approve?
Second?
All right, we have a motion to approve by trustee Longville and a second by trustee Houston. We'll now go into our roll call vote. Student trustee Garcia?
Aye.
Student trustee Espinosa?
Aye.
Trustee Aguilera?
Aye.
Trustee Betters?
Aye.
Trustee Houston?
Aye.
Trustee Longville?
Aye.
Trustee Reyes?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and the consent agenda is carried unanimously. All right, move
That's why you're the
into
chair.
our
That's why you're the chair.
home stretch reports.
Mr. Chair, I'm just curious, I want to ask council, it seems as if the way in which the consent calendar in virtually every body is constructed, once the chair has asked the question, is there anything which anyone wants removed from the consent calendar, it could then be ruled unanimously adopted if no one has any objection to any single item. Would
Yeah,
that
it actually can. It's a technical matter. I think most boards will still take a vote on it just for form, but you're actually correct.
Okay, thank you.
I like how you said actually. Go, John.
All right, we'll move into our reports from representative groups. Do we have a report from Crafton Hills College Academic Senate?
Good afternoon, members of the board. A report from the Academic Senate. Dean Dan Ward attended our Senate meeting to discuss credit for prior learning, an opportunity that allows students to earn college credit for skills and knowledge they've already gained outside of a traditional classroom. Credit for prior learning helps students save time and money by applying prior learning toward degree or certificate programs at Crafton Hills College. The Academic Senate approved a recommended best practice for syllabus creation that incorporated recommended practices for syllabi from the USC Race and Equity Cohort and the Center for Urban Education. Included was a Senate-created diversity, equitable, inclusive, accessible, and anti-racist statement created in consultation with Senators Dr. Danae Hart, Ed Ferrari, Andrew Guevara, and myself, Natalie Lopez. The Academic Senate recently discussed resolutions that passed at Academic Senate for California Community College's fall plenary with a brief instructional opportunity to how these resolutions are created and interpreted. The Academic Senate is planning on reviewing resolutions that passed, have discussions, and make recommendations on what should be prioritized and localized. Congratulations are in order from the Academic Senate to the following faculty and their years of service to the district, which was highlighted at the Chancellor's annual winter celebration. For 5 years of service, David Liu; 10 years, Brandy Bayless, Kashonda Harris, Shore Rabarnia, Danny Rojas, Suits Zaya Fanthong; 15 years, Sam Truong; 25 years, Robert McAtee; and 35 years, Farhad Mansourian. That concludes my report. Thank you very much.
Okay, Thank
Happy
you.
holidays and see you in the spring.
Thank you. Crafton Hills College Classified Senate. No report. Crafton Hills College Associated Students.
If you don't mind, I'd like to give a report for that, if that's okay. I don't know if that's against the rules.
Sure.
Okay. So, Crafton has seen a lot of meaningful momentum in student engagement and campus life this semester. And one of the most amazing things that we did is at our new Performing Arts Center, they did an art festival, and that went really well with the student body. It highlighted student creativity and fostered connection across the campus. And our Undocumented Students Committee successfully coordinated the posting of safe signage space, or safe space signage on the buildings on campus. And I've heard from students just how wonderful and how welcome they feel on campus. And I also wanted to shout out our chief, Blake Bonnet, for coming to the Senate meeting and giving us that reassurance and showing us that Campus Police has our back. That means a lot. And the incredible basic needs services that are available to students, particularly around the holidays. These resources have provided essential support during a critical time of the semester, and they've made meaningful difference for many students, including myself. And the campus has a wide range of final support efforts that's going on. It is amazing to see that anywhere on campus during finals, if you need a snack or you need a water, there's food everywhere. That is so important, especially when during finals, a lot of us forget to eat. So it's nice to have that everywhere and visible. And I actually coordinated an outdoor study jam, and that went really well. So I wanted to give a special shout out to the Crafton Hills STEP Center and the foundation and all of the other departments that coordinated and got involved and made the event such a success. And I'm going to share the pictures with you guys later on. But it was a student-led event, and for that, I think it went really well. So I also just wanted to thank everyone here because this is my first semester as a trustee, and I have grown so much as a person, and all of you are amazing. So I just wanted to say that, and thank you.
Thank you.
But who's most amazing? I'm just kidding.
Sharina Betters, of course. All right, we'll move on to San Bernardino Valley College Academic Senate. No report. San Bernardino Valley College Classified Senate.
Hey guys, long time no see. Nice seeing all of you here. First and foremost, I want to thank all the classified professionals for finishing out the semester strong. Just one more week. We're right there. We're right at the finish line. I have two reports. We've recently did the first reading of our Constitution and bylaws. We went over what membership looks like, and we sent that out to all classified professionals. So if you did not get that, reach out to me, Kevin Moreno. I'm the treasurer at Classified Senate. Feel free to reach out to me. And if you have any questions in regards to the Constitution and bylaws, also feel free to reach out to me too. That concludes my report. Thank you guys and happy holidays.
Thank you. San Bernardino Valley College Associated Students. No report. CSEA. CTA.
How about now? Okay. Good evening, Board Chair Gonzalez, members of the Board of Trustees, Chancellor Rodriguez, and members of the community college community. My name is Denise Knight. I'm Vice President of the San Bernardino Community College District Teachers Association, and it is a pleasure to be here this evening. You may have noticed that each month a different SBCCD TA officer presents this report. This is not because President Dembski is unavailable. Rather, it reflects our intentional effort to introduce you to the many faces of the Executive Board. We want you to see the range of leaders who serve our members and understand the shared collaborative voices that guide our work. As a union, SBCCDTA continues to center our work around 3 goals: strengthening unity among faculty across both campuses, improving our relationship with the district and the board through open communication and shared problem solving, and advancing the well-being of our members so they can best support student success. With these goals in mind, 2025 was a solid and productive year. Together, we negotiated a multi-year wage increase for both full-time and part-time faculty. We achieved the end of stacked classes at Valley College, and we launched high-intensity lab committee to ensure more accurate and equitable compensation for faculty lab district-wide. We also updated our chapter bylaws to reflect our intentional commitment to DEIA, and I am pleased to share that our membership elected a second African-American woman to our leadership team, Dr. Danae Hart from Crafton Hills College. The past year, we also focused on building a sense of connection and belonging among our members. Our happy hours, bowling gatherings, and last week's part-time faculty dinner at Tartan's of Redlands, they were all very well attended and helped strengthen our sense of community. I want to send a special shout out to Vice Chancellor Hannon and Dr. Gonzalez, who actually came and attended our bowling event on a very rainy Saturday afternoon. Dr. Contreras and Dr. Haran, you might want to ditch the tug-of-war and add bowling to next year's Olympic Games. We look forward to 2026. SBCCDTA will remain engaged, collaborative, and focused on constructive partnership. We are especially committed to supporting the district's dual enrollment expansion, and our executive board has been working closely with our K-12 partners in that regard. In closing, on behalf of SBCCDTA, I want to thank the board and the district for your continued collaboration. We look forward to building the momentum in the coming year, and we wish you all a warm and restful holiday season, and we will see you again in 2026. That concludes my report.
Thank you. It looked like everyone was having a great time bowling. I was just wondering, what was your final score, Vice Chancellor Hannon? 300?
It was a joint effort, but me and my bowling partner did beat Mr. Jeff Dembski and his bowling partner. And so the winners had to buy a drink, though. It was really weird.
All right. Police Officers Association. All right, staff reports. We'll move on to Dr. Contreras.
I think we should fact check those bowling figures we just heard.
Bumpers or no bumpers?
Yeah.
But thank you, Trustee Gonzalez. In addition to my written report, I have a few updates. But before I share them, I just really want to thank the Chancellor and thank the board for today's recognition. That is really leading with love and putting it into action. And it really makes me proud to be part of this district and proud to be at Valley College. The work that was done here today is just truly moving and inspirational. So the first update I have is something that we've been working on for quite some time. As we celebrate our centennial, we've been boldly embracing our identity as a Hispanic serving institution and boldly embracing our identity as a Black serving institution. And earlier this week, we got news that we are officially designated as a Black serving institution. And that was just outstanding news to receive. And I'm so proud of all the hard work that went into that. So I want to thank and acknowledge members of our BSI task force. Bear with me, there's a lot of names to read. Vieta Benjamin, Dr. Anthony Blackshear, Nia Bones McLeod, Kenesha Buffon, Lori Burnham, Davina Burns-Peters, Brianna Cunningham, April Dale, Ida Gill, Kenya Giles, James Griffin, Ernest Guillen, Yvonne Gutierrez-Sandoval, Kimberly Jefferson, Dr. Stephanie Lewis, Gabriel Martinez, Amanda Moody, Maria Notarangelo, Gary Parker, Carmen Rodriguez, Dr. Kirk Rogers, Christian Sarfo-Poku, Ayana Spivey, and Dr. Danielle Smith. I especially want to thank April Dale, who led and guided us each step of the way through that application. We're so proud of that designation, and we look forward to putting that into action. And finally, just want to acknowledge that there are helmets on the dais, and those are our football helmets in recognition of our Hispanic Heritage Month, Latinx Heritage Month, Latin whatever term you use. The football team will be showcasing those as part of our program. You see some of the pro teams do that. Valley College will be doing that as part of our celebration next year. But I do want to warn you, if you have a board retreat, you want to have a football game, they're not approved to use in contact. So they're just for looks. You can't use them if you choose to do that. And just closing with happy holidays. I hope the break brings rejuvenation and joy, and we come back ready for an amazing spring semester.
Thank you, and congratulations on the BSI.
Chair, can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to also echo the congratulations because I learned that it's not just, I thought HSI and BSI was just about the numbers of students that you have, but it's the programming that you put in place. And so, that speaks a lot to the work that you're doing. And wanted to, at some point in time, talk about the type of resources that come along with having a designation and what, we need to do in order to support from a district perspective and then, from other sources.
I'd like to make a comment regarding that because I want to commend that for being considered historically or institution. Bottom line is that Joseph said it very well. What's in it for us? In terms of resources, it has to be done from the federal, it has to be done from the state. Because if you designate it but you don't gain anything, I think we need to push for that. And I think this is where I think we can work together at the federal level, at the state level. Let me ask you a question. Are there any resources for that designation?
At the current time, there are not. That was something that was pulled from the budget, but that was something that was put forward, and we're hoping in the next budget cycle, something that is supported at the state level.
Well, see, that's where I think the legislative can help you a little bit, but because, what's the use of being HSIs? 1990, there was no funding for HSIs. We had to fight really hard, and that's when we learned to work with the historically black colleges and the Black Caucus. Because, I can be designated whatever I ask, but if there's no resources, what's the use of it? It's a start, but let's work on that, because I think that could bring in additional resources, but it has to be done. Whoever was the person who put this together, I think he should be working with you, Dr. Contreras, and I would be happy to assist a little bit in terms of how we did it in 1995. Nothing was in for HSIs, and it was designated, and it has to be you can't just like the federal government, the Department of Education had to be part of that. So that's what we really need to do. We need to do our homework when it comes to that, because if we can get some money, that could really make an impact.
But also, I don't want to take away from the work that the campuses have done, because again, it's about the programming that you have put in place. And when I'm saying asking for funding, I'm talking about either strengthening, going deeper, and adding to. And so if there's ways that we can have a conversation about it, if it's in our board retreat or part of the legislative process, I'd like to be part of that.
Yeah, because see, Joseph, that's a good question, but
we're getting very close to needing to agendize this as an actual discussion.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's
FYI.
great. I think it's great, but we need to make sure, how can we do it more effective overall?
All right. Crafton Hills College, Dr. Grant.
Just very briefly, I would like to thank everyone at Crafton, including some of our trustees who participated in the Redlands Holiday Parade last week. It was one of the biggest attendance I've ever seen in the parade since I've been here. And then for those of you that can join us this Saturday for the Ukaipa Holiday Parade, we'll be doing the same thing. And in the consent agenda, there was an item that's buried in our curriculum that I just want to highlight for you. Thank you for approving. Crafton has added a new transfer degree in law and public policy. And I want to thank you for approving that, as it provides a clear pathway for students that want to pursue the study of law and public policy. And it provides the foundation for us to also develop future programs around paralegal studies. And so I want to thank the instructional leadership team and all of our academic senate and faculty who have worked on this. And happy holidays.
Thank you, Dr. Ann. Executive Vice Chancellor?
Happy holidays to everyone. That's my report.
That was more than 2 words. You promised. No, I'm kidding. Vice Chancellor of Human Resources and Police Services.
Happy holidays. Go Broncos.
Vice Chancellor of Educational and Student Support Services.
Happy holidays.
Associate Vice Chancellor of Government Relations and Strategic Communications.
Happy holidays and
just like to thank the board for approving the appointment of our new director of grants, Bert Peachy, who's here. Want to thank him in advance for all the millions of dollars that he's going to bring to our college district. He's been in the business for more than 25 years, brought $25 million in your career. He's worked for 143 community colleges as a consultant, and he assures me that this is the best one, right? Yes. So thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Are there? Thanks. Are there any questions or discussion for the informational items in section 9? All right, if there are not, we'll announce the closed session, and we will now enter the closed session to discuss confidential matters that are generally stated on the agenda. Do we have any public comments on closed session items? None? We do have one?
We do. Board Chair, with your permission, I'd like to, thank you. Before convening into closed session in response to an employee request under Government Code Section 54957, one of the matters under Public Employee Discipline, Dismissal, Release, non-reemployment will be moved to open session for the reading of the proposed resolution. I will present the resolution in open session and give the employee up to 3 minutes to respond. The board will then convene into closed session for deliberation and vote on the matter as agendized, which will be reported in accordance with the Brown Act. So, Mr. Baeza, would you like to continue with the reading of the proposed actions? Thank you. You have been given written notice of the administration's recommendation that you be terminated for cause for your employment with the district. This recommendation is based on the statement of charges and hearing decision previously served you, and upon the following resolution adopting those charges and hearing decision. As noted at the outset, this is not intended to be an evidentiary hearing, a separate right which you have already been afforded, pursuant to the CSEA's contract. Therefore, the board will implement a reasonable time limit for you to provide your response prior to the board's consideration. To that end, you will be permitted up to 3 minutes for your response. Additional time may be permitted at the discretion for any significant time devoted to the board members' questions following your response. Upon completion of your response, the board will convene into closed session for deliberation and vote on matters as agendized, which will be reported out in accordance to the Brown Act. Does anybody have any questions before we begin? So, Mr. Baeza, you will have 3 minutes.
Before I start, could I ask?
You have 3 minutes.
The Brown Act.
You have 3 minutes too.
Okay. First of all, thank you for all gathering and taking care of this beautiful district. A little bit about myself. I have around 12 years with Valley College. I've worked for the police department as security. I was always normally one of the first people on site to help this amazing district. And of the 20,000 people moving throughout all areas of the district for the 10 years that I've worked here, I never had a complaint, and neither was I generating a complaint against anybody else when there were many times that I could have. But a little bit about what is my views of Valley College, or me in this institution where you're teaching and you're guiding students through life and making foundations and connections. I was born in San Bernardino in the Inland Empire, and my family and all of my roots and legacies have a great history of heresies as well in this wonderful district, and I've had many applause cards, and I've helped many people. And if I was to gather all the people of the 10 years where I didn't have any complaints, I would say of those hundreds of thousands of people, yes, there was times that you may review or you have a hearing of somebody going through something, and I could tell you that the feeling of what we all go through, sitting in any chair or being in any environment, because you guys removed me from that environment into safety, and my job was to be in near the checking all the inlets and the outlets for anything coming in and anything that was coming down. And I put myself in all those environments while I was covering for people who were saying not positive things about me. But I was the one guy that was always there at the barbecue, shaking hands and being there because I felt this place was like family, and I wasn't trying to produce something that was something that was occurring in my area. I never ever truly it's an actually like real will of myself in any area that the respect that I have for all members of this district was my real will's intent. But yes, I was in environments, and those environments were dangerous during my time here. I've been one of the only people for a long time that I know of. I caught burglars and caught lots of people breaking into cars and protecting students and made many detentions. And I was a great person. I used to deliver to all of the board members' homes, and in my trails and all the tracks of my being that I've left.
Mr. Bieza, thank you for your time. Your 3 minutes have expired. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. You may wait, but you will also be contacted.
Do we have any other public comments on closed session items? All right, the time is now 5:12. We have a lot to cover in closed session, so if we can keep it to 5 minutes and reconvene in about 5:17, is that okay with everybody? Yeah, 5-minute break. All right. Happy holidays, great break for everyone, and a happy new year. We will see you in January. All right, the time is 6:08 p.m. and I will reconvene the public meeting. Clerk Betters, do we have a report of action from closed session?
Yes, Chair. On December 12, 2025, in closed session, the board unanimously approved resolution number 2025-12, HR01, for the dismissal of employee number 26491, a permanent classified employee of the district, for cause with an effective date of December 15th, 2025, and directs the Vice Chancellor of Human Resources, Payroll, Police Services, and Health and Safety Administration, or designee, to send notification to the employee. On December 12, 2025, in closed session, the board unanimously approved a claim denial and letter of response to the claim filed October 13th, 2025 by employee number 8897. That's it, yeah.
All right.
That's all I got.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That concludes the closed session.
Yeah,
The
happy
meeting-
holidays, everybody.
We say the next meeting of our board will be January 22nd, 2026 at 3 p.m. Note the change of location. It will be at Museum of Redlands, 1 North Center Street, Redlands, California, 92373. The time is 6:09 and the meeting is adjourned. Happy holidays, everybody.